Hi guys, we're live streaming. It's going to be a really long one this, so bear with me. Drop in and out if you want to, but I'm hopefully not going to stop the live stream. But it's going to be probably a good 2 or 3 hours long because we've got a really big aquarium here. It's 500 litres. It's about 120 US gallons. And yeah, it's going to be really exciting. I've got loads of mature plants to put in here. They've been growing for about 12 months already in my Aquascaper 1200, which you can see videos from on my YouTube channel. I'm also going to be recording it on a digital SLR camera on my Canon 6D, so you can look forward to a full edited version, which will probably be only about 10-15 minutes long, so do look out for that. We've got actually 3 cameras on the go, so there's going to be a lot of to and from, and it's not going to be very polished. It's not going to be up to my usual standard of edited video, but that's the beauty of live streaming. Okay, so I hope you enjoy it. I'll try and answer some questions if I can, but I will be very busy doing the actual aquascaping, but hopefully a couple of my colleagues can keep an eye on any comments and ask any questions that you might have. So thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoy the show. Okay, now I'm going to do a piece to camera on here. Can you just see what I look like in the shot? Matt? Can you see my head?
Yeah, you're all in.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay. Hi everyone, George Farmer here. I'm really excited today. I've got with me a couple of guys from Amen Aquatics, Matt and his brother
Nick.
Okay. So yeah, really excited to be here today with Nick and Matt Amen from Amen Aquatics. We're at a private install today, so a beautiful bit of architecture. I can't show you too much, but yeah, we're in a beautiful setting, lots of natural light coming through, so please excuse any reflections. But we're going to be aquascaping a Aquascaper 1500 by Evolution Aqua today. We've spent most of the day just setting it all up. It's on a custom built cabinet. We've got custom drilled holes in the back there for filtration rather than using the usual glassware that I do. We've got these brilliant Kessel lights, A360 WE tuner suns on the Evolution Aqua stainless steel lighting hanging kit. And we're running, you probably can't see in the video, but we're running 2 JBL 1501E green line filters with UV. We're going to be using CO2 injection, auto top up, auto dosing. So it's a really high-tech setup. The client just wants a really beautiful nature aquarium, and they don't want to be maintaining it necessarily, so that's where the guys from Amen Aquatics come in. And I'm here today basically to aquascape the aquarium. So I've used, we're going to be using a lot of plants that I've already been growing on at home in my Aquascaper 1200. You may have already seen that if you've watched any of my previous YouTube videos. It's been growing on for about 12 months, so really mature trident fern and a massive mixture of cryptocoryne species. And I'm actually going to follow a very similar aquascape design because it did work really well, and the client, that's kind of what the client wanted to see. So without further ado, I'll carry on with the aquascaping. It is being live streamed, so hello to all the guys that are watching live. I do apologise for potential breaks throughout the process. We are working live. We have got lots to do, lots of plants and lots of hardscape to prep, etc. But I hope you stay around and enjoy the show. So thanks for watching.
Cool. We doing one on the iPad?
Oh yeah.
I only thought that halfway through. I won't interrupt your spiel.
Yeah. So those that are watching on YouTube, hello. Hope you can see me okay. Can you see that on there, Matt?
Yes. Yeah, you're good.
I'm just gonna see what I look like on my iPad, and then I'm gonna live stream from my iPad onto the Amen Aquatics Facebook page. So keep an eye out for that as well. And my iPad is having a fit. I might do anything. There we are. Okay, YouTube. So if you've got any questions, guys, fire away. Hopefully Matt or Nick will be able to keep an eye on the live streams. Have you got a phone with you, Nick? Yeah. So if you go onto my YouTube channel,
yep,
George Farmer, and then keep an eye on YouTube. And then Matt, if you go onto the Facebook, keep an eye on that, and then anyone asks any questions, then just fire away. And then I need prompting on when to do that as well, because my head will be all over the place, so I'll need to remember to do.
Cool.
To use
At what
that.
point do you want that done?
At every major step, so like
Gravel's in,
yeah,
hardscaping.
So yeah, do remind me because I will forget otherwise.
I'm not sure I've got the signal on my phone for the internet. Is there another?
Oh,
There's a Wi-Fi.
Yeah, there's a code. Do you remember what it is? Let's say
Yeah.
it out loud, obviously.
Yeah. So you bring your Wi-Fi down.
Okay, we're live. That's good. That's quite a good picture actually. Bit wonky, isn't it? So needs tilting.
Camera really, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's going to extend. Be really careful with the phone because it's just literally resting on the tripod. Don't use that. Use the legs at the bottom.
Got you.
So if you move, so we need to go right leg extended a touch. That's it. You got it. A bit more. Yeah, that's fine.
Happy?
Yeah, cool. Thanks. Okay, guys. It looks like we're working, so that's cool. 25 people watching. Hello. Let's see if I can see any comments. Live chat. Hey, loads. Awesome. Edges so blue. Yeah, this yeah. Right, I just asked a few questions now while we're live. So hello Robert, hello James, hello Camille, hello James Sheen, hello Brian. Turn this down because it's just James, Reef, Proteus. Hello everyone, really good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Brian asks, are these aquariums going to be available in the USA? I hope so. We're waiting on orders basically, so they are available, but we need a wholesaler or distributor to make a big order, and then we'll send a container full of Aquascaper tanks over to the US. What I will ask all of viewers in the US, if they want one of these, just have a word with your retailer. If there's enough demand generated, then they'll have to listen and hopefully get some tanks over there to see you guys. Okay, great. So yeah, just a quick shout out to Eamon Aquatics, who have invited me along to aquascape this tank today. It is an Aquascaper 1500. It measures 150 centimetres left to right, 55 centimetres tall and 60 centimetres front to back. So it holds about 500 litres, which is about 120 US gallons. It's 15mm super white glass. So what that means, it's got a really low iron content. So if you look at regular aquarium glass, it has a really kind of dark green tinge to it, and that's because it has a high iron content. It's actually not as transparent as it should be. So what we've done, we've got the super white glass, which is super transparent, and what you need, what we're trying to do is just literally see the aquascape and not the aquarium itself. So your eyes want to be drawn to the aquascape, they don't want to be distracted by the ugly aquarium. And that's why we've even gone to the trouble of using a black background here. We've got this beautiful wooden background, but we don't like to see that, we just want to see the aquascape. And we've drilled the back here as well. Matt Eamon from Eamon Aquatics has drilled this himself. This isn't something that's done by the company that make the aquascape tanks. You will have to do that yourself or employ someone to do that for you. But we've just eliminated as much equipment as possible. We've even got painted silver cables for the Kessel lights there, and it's just as minimal as we can make it. It's a handmade solid oak cabinet as well. Who made it, Matt?
Me. Eamon Aquatics.
You made it. Eamon Aquatics made it. So super high quality. Hasn't got the doors on yet. We just thought we'd show off the internals. So yeah, a super setup. Really excited to be setting it up today. Cool. So now what I'm just going to do, I'm just going to log into Facebook for Matt. Matt, if you just... If you sign out of my account.
Yeah.
And then, so if we go to... And then sign into your own, and then you can live stream. Okay, cool. Okay guys, so while Matt's sorting his Facebook out, I'll just talk about the process of what I'm going to do. I'm just going to talk a little bit about the Nature Aquarium concept because it's a really real passionate subject of mine. Nature Aquarium was a term, is a philosophy pioneered by the late great Takashi Amano. He sadly passed away in August 2015. But his legacy lives on, his legend lives on, because there's so many people into the Nature Aquarium hobby. And so what does Nature Aquarium mean? Well, it's basically it's
Just a slight glitch there.
Other way around, mate. Turn the phone. No.
We got it. We got it.
Is it the right way around?
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sorry about that, clumsy Nick. Shut my phone. It's got a protector on it. So Nature Aquarium, it's all about transferring an essence of nature from outside into your aquarium. And like I said, it goes hand in hand with having really good equipment, because you want to be looking at that beautiful slice of nature in your aquarium and not the aquarium or the equipment itself. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to hopefully create this essence of nature. We're going to use natural materials, rocks and wood, live plants, which I've said are already mature. So hopefully we'll get this really beautiful, mature looking aquascape straight away. So hopefully it all works out and all the equipment works. Is it working?
No, no idea.
Oh, okay. So you just go to publish, and then just go live video.
Okay, cool.
And then you want to go that way around probably. And then describe, so just put like, live from your George Farmer Aquascaper in a Aquascaper 1500 or whatever you want to do. So that's the Nature Aquarium, and that's why we're doing what we're doing today. So the first thing I'm going to do is install the substrate, or have a little think about the substrate and the actual aquascape design. So what I'm thinking of is actually, we're doing a similar layout to what I've done already in my Aquascape at 1200, and that was almost like two separate mounds, if you like. So a big kind of mound here on the right with loads of soil, and a mound here on the left. Open foreground with like a nice cosmetic white sand and a white sand path down the middle, and then lots of ferns attached to wood, lots of rocks to act as a barrier between the sand and the soil, and in the soil we're going to plant loads of mature Cryptocoryne species. So I'm just going to put my my big camera on now for a photo. And then I'm going to put in that first bit of soil.
We hold this here.
We've got any comments yet? Questions?
We were told to move the camera, and then that's where I dropped the phone.
Okay, is that it?
What's the best for this one then?
What's up?
I kind of want that angle. Anything lower is.
That's alright, isn't it?
Is that right?
Right, lean it against there maybe.
Your camera's in the way.
When you pressed live to start with, did you have a landscape or portrait? Like that way or that way? Can you remember? If you look at it from your...
Yeah.
phone, see what it's like. Okay, just don't touch the table. Okay.
Okay.
So it needs to be like that then. How does it look now?
Slowly. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you want it. Okay, we'll have to do that now. Ideally, you want it in landscape because it's better for the viewers, but don't worry.
Just stop and start again.
You won't get as many
Thingies.
views now because we've started already. Right, can you sort that out? Because I need to
Yeah,
do
cool.
this. Okay, right. So start doing the video here. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is install a product called JBL Volcano Mineral. got 18 litres in this bucket here.
George, whilst you're pouring that in, mate, Proteus wants to know how you get a substrate that's going to give you a pH of more like 5 to 6.
Say the question again, sorry.
He's looking for a substrate that's going to get your pH more to 5 to 6.
I believe one of the ADA aquasoil must do actually. It's either Malay or Africana. You might struggle though if you've got hard water. But unless you're like wanting to breed really delicate fish, I wouldn't worry too much about pH.
You're going to be using a twin star?
No. Okay, we've given the volcano mineral a bit of a pre-rinse. You can see there's a lot of kind of dirty water there. But this is a great product for helping to bulk out your substrate. And it also prevents compaction. A lot of substrates can compact over time, which can lead to excess anaerobic bacteria, depending on the type of substrate you're using. It's not normally a problem in planted tanks because the plant roots will provide oxygen, which helps to prevent that from happening anyway. Okay, so that's that side in. I'm going to repeat the process on the other side. Okay. Is yours towel size?
Yeah. Oh, no.
Oh, that one's down there a bit.
Right.
Four people watching, that's good.
If you ever think it's an issue, George, we've got the Titan. We can take out excess water if you think it's mucky.
Is it easy to use?
Mm-hmm.
Very easy.
Will it disturb the volcano mineral?
Stuff wet back.
I've never used one.
Yeah, send the pond back. Can we put it on?
Yeah, go on then. Yeah, it's a good talking point as well. Okay, you can see there's a lot of dirty water here. We want to get the aquarium hopefully crystal clear pretty much straight away. So we're going to just hoover some out with a Titan wet hoover.
Wet dry back.
Wet dry back. So it's exciting. fractured, mate.
Same.
I
Nearly had,
reckon that was the best.
nearly had a drama there. I've never seen Nick move so quickly. Okay, good. We are live and we nearly had a massive accident, but we didn't, so we're all good. Okay, so that's really cool. Thanks, Matt, for hoovering up all that dirty water. So what we're going to do now is just take a photo. So much light, isn't it?
Good save. Good shot, isn't it?
Okay, good. Okay, so hopefully you can see already there's a clear kind of pattern to the hardscape already. We've got two distinct islands, room for the pathway there. So next I'm actually going to put the stones in. That's going to act as a barrier to help stop the soil, which we're going to put in later, mixing with the sand. And it also, the stones are a really important part of the aquascape. They help just to create this really natural impression and hopefully something that looks really attractive and in keeping with the Nature Aquarium concept that we've just been chatting about. So if one of my lovely assistants would like to pass me the biggest stone they can. Yeah, it's better. So I'd like to start off with the biggest stone first. I've just given these a quick wash, making sure hopefully they don't contain any debris or dust, which will cloud the water otherwise. And if you look at my other videos on YouTube, you'll see I've done like a series on Hardscape and how to use it. And if you watch them, you'll know that I like to start off with the biggest stone first, and that's kind of like the main focal point. And I like to offset that by about a third, which we use in photography as well. It's called the rule of thirds. And it's basically the most pleasant aesthetic balance that we have. So I look at the stone and I'm trying to think about what's the most interesting side, what looks really natural, which side does it suit the most. So I think that side looks really nice, really natural there. So I think I'm going to put that round about. Here. Okay. Okay, do you want to pass me in that stone, guys?
Big one again.
Yeah.
Oh, just an important one for you, George. Zachary says he likes your jeans.
Thanks. Thank you, Zachary. It's good to know people are looking at my jeans. Right.
It leaves his mind with great imagination.
Okay, moving on. Just same concept, same principle. Put that one there, like so, and then we'll work our way to another big rock, guys. That's it. Good, mate.
Are we in Bucks right now? Bucks, yeah. In Bucks, isn't it?
Bucks.
Okay, guys, next one. Thank you. So I'd like to keep a bit of a gap between the volcano mineral and the glass. We don't really want to see that volcano mineral up against the glass because it looks a bit ugly. So I'm just sliding that back a bit. You can use a paintbrush if you don't want to get your hands dirty.
Nice. Oh, that one's cool.
P.A. Parker was wondering whether this is going to be iwagumi or whether there's also going to be wood.
There's definitely going to be wood. So it's going to be very, very wood and rock heavy, but also very cryptochlorine and burn heavy. So everything I love about aquascaping, all in one aquascape.
Oh, cool now.
Very cool.
smooth as now.
Cool. We've got left. Gonna use them all, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Don't like that one. Keep that. You can have that present.
What do you think about substrate bags?
Yeah, good idea. I've used like netting, like almost like tights, with alpha grog, which is like a filter medium, like a really big chunky concretey type filter, and it's just another really good way of bulking out your substrate. Basically, you want something that's quite porous. It's going to also sort of be a colony, help to colonise bacteria as well, which will be helpful in the substrate.
Is there any risk of overdoing it where you get a little bit clogged up?
Like I said earlier, as long as you're planted heavily, it shouldn't be a problem. The plants will produce roots and they produce oxygen. So, yeah, compacting and clogging up shouldn't really be an issue with deep substrates. Soil substrates in particular are very loose. They're not very. They're very light, so they allow really easy like oxygen penetration and root penetration. How's that looking?
Someone asked for a reflection to wave.
Some spammers, are they?
Nah, his mates messaged him saying wave at me, so he's in the reflection waving.
Also, people are asking what sort of fish we might be seeing.
I'd personally like just to see a big shoal of small fish in here, like 100 or 200 cardinal tetras, something classic like that. I think the client might want something a bit bigger, like discus maybe, but I'd probably advise against discus. They're quite a specialist fish, and they kind of need lots and lots of frequent water changes in the planted tank if you want to avoid algae. And so that's probably not the best option. I'd go for a large shoal of small fish for sure. Okay. Just do a bit of a. That's right, isn't it? So I've installed the volcano mineral and the mini landscape rock. I didn't talk about the rock in too much detail. I've used it loads in the past. You've seen it in some of my previous YouTube videos. Normally costs between sort of £3.50 and £5 a kilogram. I've used, I think, about 55 kilos here. So nice big stones here. A big shout out to my friend Dave Pearce at Aquarium Gardens who helped supply this for me, and he helps basically let me choose the best pieces that he's got in the shop, so it's really helpful. I've only taken about 5-10 minutes to do the stones. If I was at home I might take a lot longer, and it's really important to get the stone layout right. Obviously once it's in there and you've planted and stuff, you don't really want to be messing around with it, so it's a really good idea to get it right to start with, so do take your time. Okay, so next I'm going to install my soil, and then after that I'm going to install the cosmetic sand. Okay, so we've got the soil. Just watch out. Okay. So we've got, I think, 4 bags of the, yeah, 4 or 5 bags of JBL plant soil. It's a really good product. I've used it before. So just pour it in. Doesn't need rinsing. And then hopefully the stones will act as a decent barrier. To stop it from coming forward. Part of the maintenance will be keeping the white sand clean. Especially if you have shrimp, they tend to sort of dig up the soil a bit and move it forward, especially a mono shrimp. Don't open that one yet, we might need it. Okay.
I've got a 3 litre if you wanted a smaller one.
Yeah, let's just wait a minute. Okay. Actually, probably enough. Okay, good. We can always put more soil in afterwards if we need to. Next, I am going to put the sand in. So the sand's been pre-washed. Do we have like a little jug or something I can scoop?
Should we get that? Whilst we're looking, someone's asking, what's your favourite substrate? ADA, JBL or Dennerle?
That's a really good question. I think they all serve their own purpose. I've used all 3, but I'll probably have the best plant growth with the ADA, just simply because it's more rich in nutrients. But it does require a little bit more maintenance. You especially need to do huge water changes in the first week or so, because it leaches so much ammonia. If you don't, then you'll get algae issues basically. With the Dennerle Scaper soil and the JBL Pro plant soil, they don't leach anywhere near as much nutrients. They don't contain as much nutrients, but they're still good for growing plants. So you take your pick really. They're all good. They all serve their own purpose. Probably the most popular is the ADA. Still is the most popular. The Amazonia, that is, because it's so super rich in nutrients. You can get away with not dosing much liquid fertilisers with that because it does contain a lot of the food the plants need. I like to add liquid fertilisers every day anyway, so I can get away with using a much leaner soil if I wanted to. Perfect. Thanks, mate. Small one.
Thank you.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Thank you. So next step. Look at that. Let's just do a photo of that.
So George, what's an in vitro pot and what's your opinion?
Oh, okay, cool. That's a good question. Just remind me can you press that button once I've answered this question?
Yep.
Cheers. The stop button. Just press it in quite firmly.
Okay.
So what was the question, sorry?
What's an in vitro pot and what's your opinion on using it?
Okay, in vitro is another word for tissue culture. So the plants are grown in laboratory conditions in normally a clear plastic tub, rather than grown outside or in a greenhouse in a nursery. They're grown in laboratory under strictly controlled conditions. The plants are basically baby plants, but they're guaranteed to be free from algae, free from pests, snails, pesticides, and I really like them. You get more quantity for your money, but they're just not as big. So you might think you're not getting as much for your money in terms of the size, in terms of quantity. You definitely get more for your money in my experience. So loads of plant suppliers do them now. So Dennerle, Tropica, Aquafleur, Hortilab, Aquia Nova, Anubius. If there's anyone else I've missed out, I do apologise. But yeah, they're all they're all great quality. I've used pretty much every supplier there is out there. Some companies have more species available than others, but I really like them. And if you set up a tank from scratch, so if I just use tissue cultured or in vitro plants today in here, I could be guaranteed of no snails. I would never get any snails unless I introduce them by accident afterwards. So and you're not going to introduce any algae from the start either, which you can do if you buy a potted plant from a shop. So definitely loads of advantages with them. I really like them. Hopefully that answers the question. Okay, do you want to press the button? Cheers, mate. Okay, so we've installed our volcano mineral, we've installed our mini landscape rock, we topped it off with some plant soil there. We might add a little bit more later, see how we go. Now I'm going to install the cosmetic sand foreground. This is another JBL product, I think it's called Zanzibar. We've rinsed it out quite thoroughly because it does cloud the water otherwise. So rather than just pouring it in willy-nilly, I'm using a cup so I can be a little bit more careful not to spill it anywhere that I don't want to. And then I'll just start from the background and then work my way forward. Okay, you can, if you press that stop button again, and then we'll do another.
So you can put a towel down in front of you, just really
It's a shame you guys can't see the room I'm in. It's absolutely amazing. The guy's got a huge pond outside. The house is kind of on stilts because it was flooded, so they've completely redone it, knocked the old house down and built a new one effectively. And it's one of those, I don't know if you guys, anyone from the UK watch Grand Designs, it's the sort of thing that you'd see on there. It's absolutely amazing. You just want to lift that bucket on the towel. So,
right behind you, okay?
yeah, cool. Just a little bit of background behind how I got involved with this project. So, some of you, anyone that follows me on Facebook might know that I have my own photography Facebook page called GF Aquascaping and Photography Services. And Matt Eamon from Eamon Aquatics saw this page and contacted me because he wanted some photos of his. He does tank installs for a living and tank maintenance. And he wanted some photography for his portfolio, and we got chatting, and one thing led to another, and he got involved with this client here today, and was really keen to use an Aquascaper tank, which is obviously I was really happy to do because that's part of my brand. I've helped develop the Aquascaper range in collaboration with Evolution Aqua. So yeah, it kind of made perfect sense. So I've been here all day with the guys helping to do the tank install, and now we're at the part of the day now where we can do my favourite bit, which is the aquascaping. And here's the boss himself. Hi Charles.
How's it going?
Yeah, really good, thanks.
Come on.
Matt, in my toolkit, there should be a paintbrush in there. You got a bit?
Small one.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And obviously a quick shout out to Polly, who helps spray the back of the tank.
Well, yeah, thanks Polly. A vital part, a vital cog in the machine.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm just going to use a paintbrush now just to kind of smoothen out the sand, and we can get right under those rocks. Hopefully that will help prevent the soil from migrating forward. And we don't need the sand to be a very thick layer at all. In fact, I prefer a nice thin layer. It just looks more aesthetically pleasing. I like, if you have, imagine like a really thick layer of sand at the front there, it just wouldn't look very nice. It's taking up unnecessary room in the aquarium, and because there's no plants in it, in the sand, it doesn't serve any purpose apart from aesthetics. What we can do to enhance the sense of depth in the aquascape, we can deliberately, like we've done with the soil, we can deliberately slope the sand up to the rear, and when you're looking end on, square onto the aquarium, it gives an enhanced sort of optical illusion that the tank is actually deeper than it really is. Do you have something a bit more substantial than a paper cup?
We have that.
Yeah, it's a bit big. Have we got something?
I have lots of those paper cups.
Just a glass, like a drinking glass.
Should have bought only go. So, take some photographs now.
Yes, yeah, once it's all done, I'll send you some pictures over.
Send you a link to the YouTube video.
Yeah, please, yeah.
Yeah, show it off.
Just Charles.
Thank
Can
you.
you just pull that door shut,
Yeah.
it won't lock,
Yeah.
and then go back to work.
And tomorrow, okay. Yeah, excellent. Yeah, that glass. You just come with you, so you come back down.
What?
You just come grab that glass with you, so you're not coming back down.
You want glass or a bag or what?
Alright, just waiting for a glass so we can.
Went for an upgrade on the container.
Yeah. How many? Does it say how many viewers we've got?
You know what? I'm honestly not too sure how we check that.
Well, I look forward to seeing it, yeah.
Film studio going on.
Yeah.
You've got the iPad going, the phone, this camera, the GoPro.
Oh, I think we
It's
have
all going on, isn't it?
maybe 143, 144.
Is that views or viewers at the moment?
I think that's viewers at the moment because it just went down after you said that, as it happens. Take it back. Right, so George, someone's wondering, when you set up a new tank, is there going to be much difference with how long you have the lights on and how long are you having your lights on?
Yeah, I normally start off with a shorter photo period in a new tank, so anything from sort of 6 to 7 hours. And then if I wanted to, I can increase that gradually. I generally never go more than 9. At home I usually go for about 8 hours a day. If I'm running really low lighting, actually, you can use a longer photo period to kind of compensate for the low intensity. But the old days of people recommending sort of 12, cheers Charles, the old days of people recommending 12 hours of light a day, I certainly wouldn't recommend that. That's likely going to cause algae issues. And you know, as long as the plants are growing healthily, it doesn't really matter. You know, you might. I used to really like growing plants as quick as I could, as big as I could, and everything. But actually, as I've gotten older and more kind of into aquascaping, actually I prefer lower maintenance aquascapes. And so actually, I prefer to limit my lighting, and I normally have it on just sort of in the evening times when I'm going to be more likely viewing the tank. Right, I've got a couple of options. I'm thinking about the planting now. And I've got 3 pieces of huge, well not huge, big enough to fill this tank, driftwood with loads of mature trident fern, Microsorum trident attached. And so there's 2 options. I can install that now and then plant around it with a cryptocoryne, or I can put all the cryptocoryne in and then position the wood over the crypts. So I'm just having a think about which order I should do things in. If you're watching and you just heard me ask that kind of question, what would you do? Would you put the crypts in first and then the wood and the ferns, or would you put the wood and the ferns in first and then the crypts? Let's see, let's have a vote. So if you vote for ferns first, just type in ferns first. If you want crypts first, type in crypts first. Let's have a bit of interaction.
And whilst they're on that, George, they're wondering, when do you start using fertilisers?
I would use fertilisers from day one. So you don't necessarily need to, especially if the plants are kind of mature. If they're potted plants from a nursery, they're going to have a large nutrient store, generally speaking. So you don't necessarily need to add fertilisers from day one. And some people are reluctant to because they might think it causes algae. But in my experience, if you feed the plants from day one a good liquid fertiliser, you do plenty of water changes. So ideally I would be doing a 50% water change every day for the first week, every second day for the second week, every third day for the third week, and after 4 weeks, or after a month or so, you can go to the 50% water change once a week, which is my standard practice for water changes. It's probably more than most people do, but that's probably why I don't get algae. Or very rarely. In fact, if you saw one of my recent videos, you'll know that I do get algae, but that wasn't really my fault.
And George, we're currently 6-0.
Oh, no.
Has that stopped it?
Take me offline. It's going to reduce my reach by loads now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, start again.
Started again automatically, but it's probably going to massively reduce the thing. Anyway, well, there we are. Okay, guys, sorry about that. Interrupted by a phone call from my beautiful fiance. So looks like people want the ferns in first and the crypts in after. My only kind of concern with that is the wood and the ferns are going to take up a lot of space. It's going to be really, really tricky to plant in amongst them. The ferns themselves are huge. We're talking, if you saw them, you'd probably think, actually, yeah, probably a good idea to put the crypts in first. Because I think there's 3 bunches and they're all about this big. So it's pretty much going to take up the whole aquascape straight away. So I think we'll put in the crypts first. Sorry, guys. Good to hear your opinions, though.
I'm saying wood
But we're going to go
first.
straight against it.
Sorry, mate?
One person saying wood first, then plant around it.
Yeah, I'll just kind of explain why I'm not doing that. You'll see why I'm not doing that when you see the size of the wood and the fern. So I'm going to go for the crypts. I'm going to go and get them right now. We've got a rubbish bag handy, guys, because, yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, my spray mister. I think it's in my camera bag thing. Okay, so let's get a picture of that with the big camera.
Do you know what the par levels are with these 360s?
Not accurately, but I would say that in this tank, at 100% at the height they are from the plants, you're looking at 100%, probably 100 micromoles. So really powerful. So I'm only running them at 50% today because we don't need that much light.
And is there going to be much difference if you use the Kessel 160s?
Yeah, probably half of that because they're roughly half the power consumption.
This one.
No, you got the big one.
That's the video, see. You have a lens.
Oh. I've had my spray mister, mate.
Put a signature on the towel.
You've got a spray mister.
It's not like anywhere else now.
No.
It's water.
That's in the bucket, isn't it? It's already in the bucket.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, with the grips
Yeah.
from this morning.
That's a relief. Sorry about that, guys. I just got a little bit worried that I've forgotten my spray mister bits there. So I'm going to spray the soil just to help planting. Some people plant into dry soil, but I find it easier if we wet it first. Got any more questions or?
Well, what one person was asking, are you going to be running your CO2 24/7?
Do you know what? I actually probably am, because this room actually gets a lot of natural daylight, and so it's probably enough to actually need CO2, I would say, otherwise we might run into algae. So I will run a kind of lower level of CO2 24/7, probably about 15-20 parts per million instead of 30, which I'd normally go for. And that will hopefully keep them stable, hopefully encourage nice plant growth, and hopefully discourage algae growth. need to think about running a hose soon, guys, from the mains. So
Cool.
if you use a small bucket that might fit under the sink,
Yep.
and then a submersible pump. 500 litre tank, so it's going to take a while to. Pour the rest of this water in, nice and gently. Okay, good. I've just noticed some areas where there's some bare volcano mineral, so I'm just going to get rid of that by adding some more sand. Can you fill that when you get a minute?
Yeah.
Wanobi was wondering whether you're going to be adding any additional bottom fertilisers, especially for your cryptocoreans.
No. Do you know what? I very, very rarely use root capsules because I fertilise the water quite heavily, and the soil contains some nutrients as well. Then I don't normally see the need to add any root capsules or root tabs.
Just management.
Do you have to worry about glass cleaning liquids on the outside, that is?
I've never have done. I just use a regular kind of window cleaner, and I've never had any issues. Obviously, be careful not to get it into your water. Okay, good. Right, we're ready for planting. So I've got some potted plants which are fairly new, but I've also got some monster mature crypts from my old Aquascape, which I'm going to put in the background first, and then I'll work my way down to the smaller crypts at the front. So they're looking, I was a little bit worried that they might have melted by now, but they're all looking quite good. So. There we go. Some quite beautiful mature crypt. I can't even remember what species these are, so I think they might be Beckettii, Petrii. And then to prepare them, the roots are really long, so I'm just going to tear them off, like so. I'll just pop them in there, ready for planting. I might get some crypt melts. It's quite, some of you have probably heard of crypt melt. When the plant struggles to adapt to its new home, it sheds its leaves. But hopefully it will soon grow new ones, adapts to its new home. So I was up at 6 o'clock this morning at home, taking these crypts out of my old tank, ready to put in this tank. So what time is it now?
7.
Wow, it's been a long day. I think Matt was up at 5, weren't you?
5:30.
Half 5, yeah. What's having a beer? That's this. Okay, just give them a spray, stop them from drying out.
How long do your substrates generally last for?
Well, how long's a piece of string? It really depends on what plants you're using, how much light you're using, your energy levels, but generally it depends on the type of substrate. But a soil, in terms of its nutrient content, will potentially last forever. If you're dosing the water with liquid fertilisers, then the soil actually has what they call a high cation exchange capacity, which means it's taking in nutrients from the water. and holding them in the soil. So in terms of nutrient content, yeah, a substrate can last forever. In terms of physical sort of robustness, soils do tend to kind of lose their physical structure. They kind of turn into like a mush, if you like. That beautiful. And yeah, they can be prone to sort of clouding, especially if you have like ground dwelling fish. So bear that in mind. That normally happens between sort of 6 and 12 months, depending on the soil you've got. But yeah, there's no real easy answer to that one. It all depends on the type of soil and what system you're running. Hopefully that makes sense. Look at that.
Lovely crypt.
That's nice.
Okay, I think we'll start planting over to the right. Let's just get a picture of that.
What do you think about adding additives like Seek and Clarity, or do you just rely on water changes?
I just rely on water changes personally. Okay, so we're ready to plant our crypts there. I'm just going to get my tweezers. So these are an essential purchase for any aquascape, I would say. Boots along. So just insert them into your soil. So a little bit of concern about putting the wood in after the crypts, because the wood can squash the crypts. But actually, I find the crypts are so hardy. Once they adapt to their water, they have such strong root structure, and they're so tolerant of low light. They should actually do absolutely fine, even if they're kind of a little bit squashed by the wood. After I put the wood in, while I'm putting the wood in, I'll just have keep an eye on the plants as well. And if I do find that they're looking a little bit too squashed, I could always remove them quite easily. And that's one of the advantages of planting into a dry tank effectively, because you can just take things in and out without disturbing too much. Imagine if this was filled with water and I was playing around with the soil like I am now, it's just going to cause a right mess.
You got any thoughts on keeping low pH fish? Is RO the only way of doing that?
No, RO isn't the only way. You could live in a soft water area. If you've got really hard water and you specifically wanted to keep low pH fish, then yeah, RO is the most obvious way to go. There are other ways of reducing your pH, but they normally involve sort of chemicals or temporary measures. RO is the only real way to have full control over softening your water. So personally, I don't really keep. I'll keep fish that might prefer soft water in their natural habitat. But a lot of the fish I keep are captive bred. They're normally captive bred in quite hard water, and they're certainly very adaptable to a wide range of water chemistries. So I tend not to worry too much about soft water and fish. If I keep a fish that really, does demand soft water, then obviously I would, I would consider RO. I like to keep things simple, and I keep fish and plants according to what to my tap water, because I like to keep things simple and cheaper. So, but luckily, most plants and most fish are quite adaptable to harder water. So, never normally. I'm being really lazy now. I'm just getting massive bunches of crypts now. I'm just pushing them in with my fingers. Real beauties here. Some of these have been literally growing for 12 months in my tank at home, so it's really nice actually to take them out and use them in another aquascape. Normally I'd throw them away or give them to friends, so it's actually nice to see them living on, if you like, in a new aquascape. Okay, we're nearly there with the background crypts. And then I think I'll put the wood in and the ferns, and then I'll plant in front of that with the foreground crypts. Look at the size of that. Beautiful. Do you like a tank, Nick?
What's that,
Do
sorry?
you like planted tanks?
Absolutely, planted tanks is always my angle.
So when am I going to come and do a workshop at your shop then?
I think you can come down to Maidenhead Aquatics at Bourne End at some point and give us a new display tank.
Excellent.
Which actually brings me on to a question someone asked earlier on.
Yeah.
Do you do reefscapes? Is that your thing?
Not yet. I have done one. If you look at my other videos on YouTube, you might come across a planted reef tank using macroalgae. That caused quite a lot of big stir on the internet when I did it a few years ago. It's been done before, but yeah, it was really good actually. I kept some Banggai cardinal fish and just a few different species of macroalgae, but I actually kind of aquascaped with the macroalgae, and it worked really well. Didn't have a protein skimmer because the macroalgae was the nutrient export, if you like. So yeah, it worked really well. So right, look at these bad boys at the bottom here. Look at these.
And these are the plants you had in your Aquascaper 1200, weren't they?
Yeah. Yeah. So I've done the final photo shoot of that. Now look at that.
Lovely.
Beautiful. So yeah, I've done the final photo shoot of that now for the ILPLC. So that's kind of secret at the moment because they don't like you to show off your final, your final product, if you like. Okay, I think we're there for the big crypts. I'll give them a bit of a spray. Tidy up. I'm just a bit conscious of a battery on my phone. I'm just going to see. I don't know, I'm a bit worried about touching it because I might want to leave the string. I'm just going to plug in a battery pack to my phone. Excuse me a moment.
Just get the extension lead one.
Sorry, mate.
An extension lead over there.
Alright. Okay, excuse me guys, I'm sorry for blocking the camera. I'm just going to plug in my
Is that going then?
power pack. Oh yeah.
Are you good, George? Or do you want to main us?
That's alright, I'm good. Okay.
The one background thing is, are we able to kick people?
Sorry mate?
Are you able to kick people?
Am I able to kick people? Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, you can, if you report them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we can do is we can report people on this channel as well.
Yeah, so you don't,
What's that?
you know, accept all constructive criticism, but if you start swearing and stuff and being aggressive and abusive, then you'll get kicked off. But, shout out to all the people that, you know, are supportive and all the good things that we love about YouTube. Okay, time for the
Squeezing question,
time for the wood and the ferns, which
Let's go now.
I'm quite excited about because these have been my pride and joy for the last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. So thanks to Dave Pierce for packaging up my wooden ferns for me. Aquarium Gardens. So I've been growing these for, like I said, 12 months or so at home. My Aquascaper 1200. Trident fern, grown from just regular pots.
Why would you say most new tanks get diatoms?
Just,
And is it linked in with silica?
wow, that's a really good question. A lot of people believe it is, some people believe it isn't. So, two people I massively respect in the hobby, Dennis Wong and Tom Barr, don't believe silicates cause algae, I believe. I'm pretty sure Dennis Wong doesn't anyway. But it is linked. Anecdotal evidence suggests it might be. So I would like to say, I very rarely get diatoms, and I think that's because I do the huge water changes. I'm not sure what causes it. Probably just an imbalance of bacteria, of the plant growth. And for some reason it does happen in new tanks. There we go, look at that. Let's just take a picture of that because that would be. I'm so pleased that's not dried out. So, our first piece of wood with fern attached. There we go.
Very nice.
Spray, poor thing's been left in the box for 4 or 5 days. And that's, you can probably see it's completely changed the look of the scape, makes it look a lot more mature. So I've literally wrapped these in bin bags, double bagged them to stop hopefully the ferns from drying out. Mycosaurus, Java fern, is really susceptible to drying out. It's one of those plants. Once it's adapted to its submerged state, if it's emerged out of water, it can dry out and really suffer and die quite quickly. So
I'll put this in quickly, George. Which box is in it?
yeah, don't put it in there.
No.
Oh, we just lost the light. No.
Shut whenever you want it, it's all good stuff.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Okay, here we have our second bush. It's even bigger than the first one.
How do you attach those?
I just literally wedged them in crevices and they self-attach. Some people tie moss, some people
Some people use glue.
yeah, some people use glue, some people use cable ties, but I guess I'm much lazier and I just like to wedge it in any old way. So. These quick back.
What fern's that? Is that the trident?
Yeah, all trident. Yeah. There we go. Like it?
I was just saying, I thought the scape was more in the middle. Really, those outlets could have been better and pushed off to the side, wouldn't they?
It's still going to be good for flow though.
Yeah. So there's another piece to go in yet. So.
Cool.
And plus the crypts will grow up. Because their gravity is just, they're all laying down now. So
Yeah,
they'll
yeah,
grow.
true. Yeah, it gives them thing.
You're on 190 people watching, George, just so you know, mate.
That's good. Thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. It's been a long day, but it's all worth it if you guys are watching. Free what?
My name
Views.
You got 3 viewers. You need to share it on my Facebook.
Yes.
And you'll get loads.
Let me do that now. I can do it on my phone, can't I?
I think so. So last but not least, the third bit of wood. And I think that will look good over to the left a touch. Need to do this one.
We are lights down.
Okay. Is that just stripped or?
Let's check.
Press the. Can you get it plugged in?
We'll get these lights back on as soon as we can.
2 seconds. I can plug all the plugs from that bit. Put it over here, just hold it up.
Yeah, just leave it off for now. I'll just showed you settings. Where's my sprayer? Okay guys, sorry about the lights, something's overheated I think. There we go. That shows my setting on my camera again.
George, do you reckon we should give them a little tour with the phone a bit closer up?
Yeah, is that what they're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, does someone want to grab it and hold it for me? Phone that is, really.
Please. Here we go, guys.
I think we're ready to start putting some water in and then I can plant the small bits while it's filling up.
Our plant journey has started.
Does everyone like that? Think that looks okay?
That's wicked.
Quite good.
Let's get a little bird's eye view so you can see some of the spacing as well.
Yeah, it makes a difference having those with your phone. Guys, are just like a couple of pots in there. Lost.
Although unfortunately I don't think I can hold this forever.
Why is that? Oh, because it's too hot.
I am boiling under the lights.
Yeah, they are hot, aren't they?
Showbiz, guys.
Yeah.
And of course, we have our lovely hand-built
Show around the back of the cabinet.
oak cabinet, filtration,
UV,
UV.
Kessel controller. Let's put the Kessel controller on.
Where's that Kessel controller? Here he is.
Yeah.
We've got our LED lights.
Pull back to here. Pull the whole thing in.
Okay, and have a look around the back as well because the plumbing is so neat on it.
Of course, something that most people miss when they're setting up the fish tanks is all those pipes and wires trailing about. So what we've done is we tried to keep it as smart as possible.
Keep the phone the same way.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. Don't want broken laptops for people flipping them around.
Okay. Good, right, we're ready to fill up. So what have we got? We've got the water ready to pump in.
How's the water situation, Matt?
We are good to go.
We're good to go.
Let's just put my colander.
I'll hold you guys for as long as I can be bothered, and then I might have to sit you back down. Someone's asking whether the UV is going to kill off the bacteria that you're trying to use, the beneficial bacteria, that is.
I've never used UV before, so I'll let Matt answer that question.
What do you reckon, Matt?
I mean, there may be a little bit at the beginning as it's trying to do it. Sometimes on the tanks, we start running them after a week or so. In this case, because the room's so bright with natural sunlight and everything else, we're going to run them from day one. So I think that green water is possibly going to be an issue with it.
Yeah, I would also say there's going to be loads of bacteria already on the mature plants. We could also add a product, maybe Evolution Aqua Aquarium as well, just to kickstart everything like that. Yeah, so I don't think it's going to be a problem. I don't think the UV. I think the benefits of the UV will certainly outweigh any potential downfalls of it. Okay, do you want to switch on the water, mate?
Here you go, I'll give you a little behind the scenes as well.
Right, you all in?
There's no sump on this one, mate. I think having a sump in a plant aquarium can lose all your CO2, aren't you?
Yeah, if it's in contact, if the sump is a standard sump with like an overflow which causes agitation,
Oh, sure.
you can get sealed sumps, so you won't lose CO2. Okay, we're getting water in there. I'm going to start preparing and planting some smaller crypts around the open areas. Okay, so how we prepare a crypt, really easy. It's what? Slow.
It's quite a slow flow on the tap here. But
That's fine. It'll take a while, but better to be too slow and too quick. Okay, so just remove the pot, remove the weight, peel away the rock wool.
Yeah.
And then you can separate your crypt into different portions. 2 or 3, like so. And then you can trim the roots back, or I'm just a bit lazy and I just tear them back like so. And then that makes them easy to plant. Grab your tweezers. And then just pop them in.
how are you going to be doing your daily fertilisers, and how are you going to cover all the main areas?
Cover all the main areas.
Yeah, like, so are you going to be doing a daily fertiliser that's going to cover all your iron and all the other bits you're
Oh
going
yeah,
to need?
yeah, daily fertiliser, comprehensive fertiliser in an auto doser. So it will be dosed, probably I'd recommend at the start about 20 ml a day of a decent comprehensive liquid fertiliser. And then ideally a 50% water change every day, although I don't think that's feasible in this case, so probably at least twice a week I would say. Generally the bigger the tank, kind of the less you need to worry about the big water changes, because it's kind of more stable. But if you can, I definitely recommend really big frequent water changes, as many as you can, and especially in the first couple of weeks. It really helps to prevent any algae issues. Every time I've done that technique, I've never had an algae issue. If I've skipped out, you know, if I've been a bit lazy and not changed any water in the first week, pretty much guaranteed I'll get algae. It's that simple. Don't really understand the science behind it, I just know it works.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
And whereas this client might not be doing water changes every day, that's why we've gone for the double filtration.
Yeah.
And of course, it's going to be maintained by the lovely guys at Aiming Aquatics.
Yeah, I mean, even if I was doing like lots of maintenance, I'd still go for. Normally, any tank more than 100 litres, I'd probably put 2 filters on there, just to get that extra circulation more than anything. Plants do love good circulation. Now, like if you're using CO2 injection, you like that CO2 to be pumped around the tank to feed the plants. Okay, so it's really important we don't let those ferns dry out.
What do you reckon the cycle time is going to be with this?
Right, this is a really in-depth topic that probably upset a few people. I don't cycle my tanks.
Dum dum dum.
Yeah, I never do. So I always plant really heavily. I run good lighting, good CO2 injection, lots of water changes, and I don't stock anything for the first couple of weeks. If I do stock something, I'll make sure I've got mature media already, which I normally have done. I've normally got at any one time 3 or 4 filters running at home. And then I just rely on the plant growth to deal with any cycling. You know, plants are really good water purifiers. As long as you're not stocking heavily with fish, you know, your plants will easily take up any excess nitrogenous waste such as ammonia, nitrite, etc. So, you know, really don't worry about cycling your tank if you're running a heavily planted system like this. You know, I'll probably give it a good 4 or 5 weeks to add in some fish. I'll probably put some shrimp in here after a week or so. I'll test the water for any ammonia or nitrite, just in case. Some soils do leach ammonia, so you might want to just check it out, make sure it's okay. But I just certainly add some cherry shrimp in here. They'll breed prolifically. You know, you could have 20 or so, and within a few months you'll have hundreds. And they're really good for just keeping the tank clean. They're not necessarily good algae eaters, but they eat all the you know, all the microflora, all the microfauna, the biofilm, and the stuff that could potentially lead to algae. So with algae, you know, prevention is always better than cure. And you know, a good algae crew is part of that. And you know, cherry shrimp and the Marno shrimp are definitely my favourites. Don't tend to rely on fish for cleaning algae too much. I prefer shrimp.
I suppose they're going to be creating enough mess by themselves, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's a bit of a. Yeah, it's a bit of a sort of topic, you know, algae eating fish. The argument is that they create the waste they create actually leads to potentially more algae than the algae they eat. So, you know, it swings and roundabouts. It's all about a healthy system at the end of the day in balance. Okay, we're nearly there with the planting, I think.
What do you think about snails?
Personally, I don't like them. Just aesthetically, I don't find them appealing. So they, you know, when I'm on the glass, they distract me. Some people like them for eating algae, but I'd rather deal with the algae than deal with looking at snails. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of snails, to be honest. I don't mind a few background level snails. You know, it's just a sign of it's inevitable with some tanks, unless you're using tissue culture plants like we were talking about earlier. Nice bit of Ricardia on there if you want to get a close up of that.
This little fella creeping around on the wood.
Yeah, Ricardia camadrofolia, coral pellia, or mini pellia to some people.
I haven't got Parkinson's, by the way. Just shaking.
Just shaking nerves, is it? Right.
Do you have no charge for that?
I don't know. No, to tell me. I'll just leave it, mate. I might just connect you. Okay, the tank's going to take a while to fill. What I'll do, I'll sit in front of the tank and I'll take on any questions that you might have. Just fire away anything at all, apart from personal questions. So.
And I'll put the bag down here.
I'll just keep the plants wet from drying out. Loads of crypts left over, guys, if you want to take some home with you.
Won't say no to that.
Just bag them up whenever you want. Well, just save them to the end. We might need to plant a bit more. Can we get any more water in there? It's slow, isn't it?
Mm.
It'll be crystal clear though. What's
Well,
the time?
yeah, that's the benefit.
7:30. Yeah, what is it? It's
Buffering.
shit.
Happy with it?
It's taken.
It's right, will we, I think.
Yeah. You are, Charles.
Nothing we can do, is there really?
No, it's just not. You alright?
Not like those ones.
No.
I think that helped. I put my hand over the outlet, it wasn't spilling over the side quite so much.
Oh, the sun coming out.
So I think it's just spilling out a little bit.
Okay, alright, let's have a little tidy up, guys, while it's filling up, and just do as much as we can.
Sounds good. Whilst we're doing that, someone's wondering about evaporation.
Yeah, evaporation is something to think about when an open top tank. You are more prone to it, obvious reasons. And you can just top up with tap water and then do your 50% water change every week, and that's normally okay. I think we won't use that for a bit. I'm going to come in tomorrow and you can refill it if you want.
Yeah.
Might run up a bit.
This
This is the slowest tap you've ever seen, mate.
Yeah, sorry guys for the slow
We agree.
tap filling. We've got an underpowered pump. I totally blame Matt for it. But to be honest, I'd rather it be too slow than too quick, because the danger of it filling up too quickly, we get cloudy water, and we want the client to be super impressed with it, straight away. So, I don't mind waiting a little bit, delay gratification. We're just going to have a tidy up now, guys. Thanks for watching again. If you've got any questions, fire away. Hopefully, I'll be able to answer them. I'm just going to have a little tidy up myself. You got a bag with it? Just press all of the favours in there.
Do you just bucket again?
Yeah, please. It's my favourite bucket. Yeah, I think it's quite rocking on this bit, hasn't it? Not for you, or me.
Common, not
What's that?
H2 ocean buckets.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Luke Shaw,
Should have given us more stuff.
you check out Aiming Aquatics, and I'm sure we can help you out. Give us a ring.
As I say, you want some similar?
Yeah, we got someone up in Liverpool with good taste.
Yeah, I'm available as well.
And of course, George Farmer is also available.
This is quite a unique aquascape, guys. It's quite important to talk about this because the plants have been growing in our tank at home for 12 months, so very unlikely that you can create this instant effect otherwise. So,
The big green plant in the middle is a Java fern, Microsorium, and it's a trident.
Marcosaurus otium. I used to say that.
Microsorium, sorry.
Yeah, no, I used to think that was mine. I still don't know if I say Latin names right. No one corrects me. If you say it confidently, I reckon you can just
That's
get
the
away
thing.
with
We'll
it.
get to it.
Yeah. I used to say cryptocorin. I used to say cryptocorium, I think. And then I heard someone say cryptocorining. So that sounds better.
They have the iny bit on the end, it makes it sound more Latin, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, the test for me with an Aquascape I've done for someone else is, would I like that at home? That's always a big test, and
It's basically what you've done at home.
Well, you had it at home
yes.
anyway, so you look.
it's pretty much the same Aquascape I did at home. So yeah,
So yes.
it's pretty sweet. Your phone's buffering like crazy.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
At least everyone's jumping on the Wi-Fi at once. You've got 2 streaming it, 2 watching it.
George, you'd scape a reef tank for someone, wouldn't you? Or you give it a go?
Is that what they're asking? If
Oh,
I
I wonder.
I would like to, yeah, because I don't think I'm experienced enough to have the expertise to do that for someone. I would help them. I could certainly play around with rocks to create something attractive, but I wouldn't like to, you know, talk about coral choice and fish choice necessarily, because I don't think I'm an expert on that.
And what do you think about, in a bigger tank, predatory fish in an aquascapes tank?
Yeah, why not? I mean, as long as the fish are compatible, you know, as long as they're not herbivorous, so yeah, obviously predatory fish are normally carnivorous. So yeah, I've aquascaped piranha tanks before, they look pretty cool. You can see my spray. Yeah, if you look at the latest Practical Fish Keeping magazine, there's a step-by-step piranha tank in there, which me and Dan Crawford did down at M1 Aquatics in Epping. Any other questions?
We've got just a repeat question on the sumps, and you were saying that you can use sumps as long as it's not a free-falling sump, is that right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've actually, must confess, I've never ever used a sump myself. I've never had really a tank big enough to justify one. So I generally use big canister filters, but I do know of people. I mean, Tom Barr is pretty much, you know, regarded as one of the world's leading garden tank experts. He's used sumps before. I'm not sure if he's using one at the moment, but he's a big advocate of them. And as long as they're sealed, then you don't get any off-gassing. And even so, you know, CO2 is fairly cheap to buy. You could just add more CO2 to compensate if you wanted to.
Someone was asking about collecting their own stuff, rocks from beaches, those sorts of things.
Yeah, that's an interesting topic. So I did a Iwagumi. If you look at my other channel, my other videos on YouTube, the Aquascaper 600 setup I have at home at the moment uses locally collected rocks. It is actually illegal to collect rocks from a beach unless you have permission. So do bear that in mind.
Important
And
note.
obviously bear in mind collecting anything from any private land, and just use common sense. Don't over collect stuff. You know, bear in mind sort of environmental impact, sustainability, and then think about if the hardscape is safe. You know, some wood might leach, you know, potential toxins, especially if it's only just died, only just fallen off the tree. It might still have some saps in there, which might potentially be toxic. I think pine is a no-no in aquariums. I'm not sure though. Don't quote me on that. It's just something I've heard. I just tread carefully. You know, just collect stuff with caution and use it with caution. But you know, certainly don't be afraid to collect your own stuff and use it. Be all right, aren't they?
It's filling up rather slow. I think when the water level gets higher, we'll be able to pour bits in though. Because then we won't have any splashing.
Yeah, that's true.
And we are getting a lot of people asking about fish in the aquarium, which I think the client nor us are particularly kind of settled on yet.
No. I mean, I'd certainly recommend a large shoal of small fish. I think it would suit the aquascape really well. I know the client has young children, and they probably would like really colourful fish, moving fish. But I'll go for something classic. I'll go for a large shoal of small fish. Rubby nose tetras, I think would suit it quite nicely. Cardinal tetras. What's that?
I'll just show in the water rubber.
Okay. Maybe a shoal of bigger, like Dasoni barbs would look nice in there. Certainly big enough, 500 litres. You could get like 20 or so Dasoni barbs would look really cool.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's probably fair to say that a lot of people making a mistake with planted tanks will focus too much on the fish and forget that a planted system generally wants to be a bit lighter.
Yeah, I mean, aquascaping is all about the fish and plants in harmony with each other. It's not a fish tank, it is an aquascape, and the fish are there, to complement the aquascape. They're part of the whole picture rather than it being a fish tank which is focusing on the fish. In my opinion, obviously fish welfare always comes first, so just ensure your fish are well looked after, suitable for your setup. Alright?
Yeah. Still fast. That's terrible. It's got half an hour in there. Do you want the bubble counter? If we're going to diffuser. Yeah.
I wouldn't bother if you're using an inline diffuser. It's got a built-in bubble counter, isn't it?
Don't know.
Yeah, use it now, just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll hook it up tomorrow anyway, so.
Oh yeah, I put quite a lot in there. I probably put about 5 bubbles a second.
Okay.
Watch, really.
24 hours.
Yeah, 24/7.
That's going to cane there.
I'm going in about a week or two.
Whoever knows.
People are mentioning the famous red colander.
Oh good, yeah, I'm glad you remember it, yeah. My famous red colander.
Here he is. Has he got a name?
Robert. Yeah, Robert the red colander. I've had this colander since I started fish keeping. I can't remember what gave me the idea of using the colander to disperse the water. Just a bit of common sense, I think, and then yeah, it stayed with me. So I've had it, what, 15 years?
Not bad going.
Yeah, 894,000 water changes at sea.
894,000.
No, I don't know.
Just squeezes me, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, someone's asking whether you change your CO2 levels depending on fish levels. Does that change anything at all?
Not really, no. As long as you've got good...
Except for pH changes.
30 parts per million is the maximum sort of recommended for most fish. You can actually get away with more if you're running high oxygen levels. So if you're running a lot of high surface agitation, arguably twin star as well, increases oxygen levels. Wet dry filters, sumps as well with agitation, increased oxygen levels, so you can get away without actually adding more CO2. But yeah, some fish in nature will come from very high oxygen waters, fast flowing streams, etc. So yeah, you might want to avoid high CO2 levels with them. But just keep an eye on your fish. If they start gasping at the surface, or they're lethargic and not eating very well, and you've recently sort of upped your CO2 level, and that's probably why.
You got a shout out here, George, from Paul Sambrook, who you helped do a tank 3 weeks ago at Aquarium Gardens.
Hi Paul, good to see you, mate. How's your scape looking? I haven't been on UCAPS, I must confess, for a while, so if you're posting on there, then I need to have a look. But yeah, Paul watched a live demo at Aquarium Gardens, yeah, and I helped him out with his scape. I chose some plants for him, and we did a bit of a rock layout and stuff like that, so that was really cool. Power of the internet, brilliant.
How did you get your microsorums so lush?
Good CO2, good light, good circulation, good water changes, good liquid fertilisers. Easy. Lots of shrimp, keep them clean.
Yeah, get the gardeners in.
Yeah. Hundreds of cherry shrimp in there, probably about 50 amino shrimp. So yeah, it's all of the above really. No secret. start off with a healthy plant as well from a you know, a reputable supplier. Yeah, it is the best fern I've ever grown, to be fair.
Yeah, it looks nice. Paul says, awesome. That's how it's going.
Awesome, there you go, what can you say? Yeah. Thanks, Paul. That water is pretty clear, to be fair.
It's crystal clear. That's what you do when you do it 1 mil at a time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look at that. This aquarium's 2 foot.
2 foot front to back?
2 foot tall.
No, it's 55 centimetres tall.
Oh, sorry, 55
Yeah,
centimetres
it's
tall.
actually wider front to back than it is tall. Great for aquascaping.
What's your thoughts on liquid CO2?
Nasty.
Short and simple.
Yeah, it's glutaraldehyde, which is really toxic. It's a known algaecide. Lots of debate about it at the moment on social media with the aquarium groups. Supposedly a source of carbon. There's lots of debate about that. It does, you know, I've had good results with it. It does serve a purpose if you want to, you know, have a better chance at growing plants. But just be really careful when you're handling it. It is a toxic product. You know, be careful. Don't deliberately breathe in the fumes. It does stink. Yeah, so I would always recommend CO2 injection if you wanted to get extra plant growth, healthy plant growth like you see here. You can't beat CO2 injection. It's a more expensive outlay, but the results are just the best in terms of plant growth. You can't beat carbon dioxide injection versus liquid carbon. There's no contest.
What do you think about crabs? Little vampire crabs and stuff in planted aquariums?
Never actually used them.
Because they don't seem to be too much of an issue. Little shout out if anyone can remember the Latin name, because I forgot.
No, I've never actually kept crabs before, so I can't really comment on that, I'm afraid. Shrimp are my thing. I love shrimp. Cherry shrimp breed really, really well in my setups at home. I think it's the tap water, they love it for some reason. They actually seem to breed better in like high energy planted tanks. Don't know what it is, maybe extra oxygen levels. In my Aquascaper 1200, they're just honestly, there must probably be over 500 in there now.
Wow.
Just crawling everywhere. Yeah.
And the good thing about them is their numbers are always just going to match your tank.
Yeah.
They can't really overpopulate, because if there's not food for it, they won't breed.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice and easy.
Yeah, it's really, really cool.
Good job, Polly, there, getting the Latin name for the crab.
What is it?
Giassama bicolor.
2 colours. Is Polly there today at the shop?
Polly was there today at the shop.
Which one was Polly?
Polly was at Maidenhead Aquatics. She was the one bossing it with the glasses.
Oh yeah, I remember Polly. Hello Polly.
Which branch, Nick? Which branch?
Oh, Maidenhead Aquatics at Bourne End.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic store for all of your aquarium needs.
Really good fish, actually, I must admit. I do a lot of shop reviews for shops, funny enough. For Practical Fish Keeping magazine. Shout out to any PFK readers out there. And one of the things I do for PFK is visit shops and write about them. And so it's always interesting to see new shops. And I must admit, Bourne End's livestock are very healthy. Nice selection of, particularly enjoyed their selection of small Rosborus tetras and barbs. Very good selection.
Thank you very much, George.
The cabotais in particular, very strong coloration.
They're looking very good.
Yeah,
The little blue strips on their backs were coming out.
yeah,
It's
really
nice.
nice fish.
How many tanks have you got at home, George? Someone's asking.
I have Aquascaper 300 cube, Aquascaper 600, Aquascaper 1200, newer Mirabello 60 with customised hood, a Denale Marinus 30, which is going to be a reef nano tank, and soon to be a Evolution Aqua Reef 450.
Just a few of them.
So that's 6 altogether, I think. But I've only got 3 kind of running at the moment. The Aquascaper 300 cube is looking really good. There's a video on that, by the way, on YouTube.
Check it out, everyone.
Yeah. Also, the 600's looking good. I did a rescape of that. If you look a couple of videos ago on my video list on YouTube, you'll see how I rescaped it. Same rocks, same carpeting foreground, but I put a load of stem plants in the back basically. And the 1200 I've just ripped out, ready for this aquascape basically. That is really exciting. The 1200 is going to be a collaboration aquascape with a guy called Stephen Chong. I don't know if any of you have heard of him. He's a really talented aquascaper in Japan, lives in Tokyo. He's part of the Tokyo Aquascaping Union, which has guys in it like the previous winner of the ILPLC contest. I can't remember his first name. Fukada, his surname is, but he's grand champion twice in a row, which is the first time it's ever been achieved.
If you guys Google him, I'm sure you get the name.
Yeah, he's basically Stephen Chong's mentor, and Stephen's helping me out with the layout for my next 1200 aquascape. So he's done some sketches. He's a really talented artist. He does lots of sketches on Photoshop, and we've if any of you follow me on Facebook, you might have seen a note rather than a post. You can write notes for like really long posts. And yeah, I'll talk about my collaboration with him. So we're doing an aquascape called The World of Anubias, and it's going to be very African sort of themed, lots of Anubias, Bulbitis, and obviously some African fish, not sure yet, possibly some African tetras.
Anubias are my favourite plant as well, got a lot of time for them.
Anubias, so I'm going to use big Anubias at the front and then small Anubias at the back. That's going to create this really enhanced sense of depth, because the 1200 is actually 2 foot front to back as well.
Nice.
So to really get that sort of sense of depth, it's really handy.
And do you ever do blackwater tanks when you're setting them up?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I've done a few. If you look on my YouTube stream, on my
Checking it out.
check out my other videos. Oh, nice one. You'll see. You'll see a few. I did a Cambodian pool, it had Espy Resbora in there, you know, the Harlequin Espies, and it had some dwarf, I don't know what they're called, sparkling dramies.
Oh, they're nice, very nice.
Yeah. Leaf litter, I actually collected the leaves myself, just copper beech leaves and oak leaves, just some driftwood. I actually used some catappa leaves, like a catappa leaf tea bag to get the tannin effect. So yeah, that worked really well.
Oh, and someone was wondering earlier on, actually, I just remembered, how does dark water affect your average planting aquarium? Is it just lighting that's going to be the issue?
Yeah, it's an easy one.
There you go.
It's gonna affect light penetration. So just bear that in mind. In a blackwater habitat, you won't really see much submerged plant growth.
Could you cheat your way around it and just absolutely blitz your tank?
You could do, but yeah, you could do.
Maybe it won't be the most natural.
It wouldn't look great, in my opinion. But you could, if you really want blackwater and plant together, then that's fine. But personally, I like to see, if I'm growing plants, I like to grow them as well as I can, which means, really clear water. Not necessarily a lot of light as well. That's a really kind of common mistake, especially beginners make, is they think they need loads of light to grow plants, but actually more important to deal with things like CO2 and liquid fertilisers and circulation. And you start off with lower light, have all those other things sorted, and you can really grow healthy plants, and the maintenance is actually relatively low as well. Less risk of algae. As you get more experience, if you want to grow more demanding plants, then yeah, sure, add more light, but make sure you balance that with enough nutrients, CO2, circulation, and water changes. Yeah.
Paul's got a weird one. Have you ever seen wood lice in a planted tank? Or what looks like wood lice crawling around?
Yeah.
Are they an issue? Or your fish is going to eat them, probably?
No, not an issue. In a natural system, which isn't like very, very highly maintained, you're bound to get some copepods, freshwater, tiny little freshwater inverts, just part of the natural system. I wouldn't worry about it. You can get one issue you can get is dragonfly larvae. comes in on some aquatic plants, especially from Asia. That's something to watch out for. They can potentially eat fish fry. Apart from that, no, not really an issue. Just like live food for the fish.
Sure, it's quick, I think, got 5% on that.
5% on the thing, on the iPad.
When you have one,
Oh, sorry.
We've enlisted some help from extra pumps to get this filled up a bit quicker now, I think. A lovely little barrel pump.
Oh, you're right, I'll do it. Selfie value.
Okay.
Oh, I look tired. Okay, everyone, this is to the guys that have been watching on Aiming Aquatics Facebook page. Thanks so much for watching. Final view of the tank while it's filling up. My iPad's about to die. No battery left, I'm afraid. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed myself. Stay tuned. I'm sure Matt from Aiming Aquatics will give you some updates as he maintains it, etc. I'm really pleased with it. I hope you've learnt a few things. Keep on scaping. Cheers. Bye. Range 11 views, that's not bad.
It's pretty decent, that's almost as many as my followers, so.
6 followers, 6 likes this week.
Yeah.
I think I need to.
People are asking for a recap on the plants.
Easy. So Microsorum Trident, that's the Java fern. And then the various Cryptocorynes. So I think we've got Becketii, Petchii, Cryptocoryne Wenditii green, Cordata, Nevellii,
Novelli being the little fella down there.
yeah, Willisii. Yeah, that's it. Loads of different crypts basically. Hard to ID crypts sometimes, they all look similar. Oh, they don't, that's a complete lie, they don't all look similar, but that's hard to ID.
And you can always just mash them together, so they often just live all next to each other, don't they?
Yeah, exactly, I love doing that. Just blend the textures. Is your GoPro working?
Yeah, it should be.
What's it doing? Taking a picture of me so often, or?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Is it waterproof?
Yeah, 231 things. It is.
Very cool. When it's full, when it's maybe a little bit more full, we can have a couple of
Yeah.
sub shots.
Still got over half the thing, so.
I'm going to just give my missus a FaceTime quickly.
Yeah, no problems. Do you use my phone? Do you want to ring her? Before your battery goes.
Yeah, I've got 1%.
Yeah. Yeah, do you know her number?
Yeah.
Crack on.
Cheers,
I
mate.
don't know. How do you face it?
No, you haven't got
I suppose you've got an iPhone,
you
have
haven't
you?
got an iPhone, have you, you loser?
Or an Android. Right, let me fill this one back up.
Any more questions? It's looking a little bit cloudy, isn't it?
Mm.
Or is it cold? Are you just putting cold water in there?
This one is.
Yeah.
The other one's coming from the hose, the shower, which is warmer.
It's not condensation, is it? Or actual.
Oh, maybe.
Do you think hard tap water ever causes increased chances of algae?
No.
Is that cloud or is it?
Spit cloud. It all seems.
Yeah.
Where's it dilutes? It'll be fine. It's a very complex topic, algae in hard water. Simple answer is no. But you have. It's like any algae is sort of addressing. You have to basically look after your plants. You look after your plants, and you shouldn't get algae. It sounds really simple, but that's it. Just bear with me. I'm just going to get it half. Okay.
I'm going to put you guys back on the stand, I think.
Yeah, thanks for doing that, mate. A little bit cloudy, isn't it? Too bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Hi Anna, you alright?
Yes, are you?
Yeah, tired.
You still there?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Right, we're just having tea.
Oh, okay. Alright, well I'll let you know when I'm on my way.
Okay.
Should be
Alright,
too
good
much
stuff.
longer.
What
Alright.
time are you going to be back? Well, we didn't know.
I don't know, mate. It's taken quite a long time to fill. Is it nice? You paella?
Yes, lovely.
Okay, there's the tank. Alright, okay. Everyone okay?
Yeah, good.
Alright, good.
Yeah.
Alright, okay. Love you lots. Bye bye.
Bye.
Oh, should we see if Charles has got any beers in?
Probably does.
I reckon he's got like some really like rare gins and stuff.
I think he probably will. Let's go around the kitchen.
Okay. Single malts and that.
That's when we find out it's got Dobermans all over the place.
Oh, it's actually long.
Oh, it is a lounge.
Yeah, it's probably got CCTV as well, recording everything we say.
You guys can't see it, but it's like a Mission Impossible laser grid going on out there.
Let's have a look. 118 viewers, that's pretty good.
I think consistent the whole time, isn't it?
128. Hi guys, let's have a look. Super chat. Let's do that. Super chat's like people like can donate to you and stuff during your video. I don't ask for that because it's just cheeky.
Do you want me to ask?
Yeah.
You can always donate.
No, don't. I'm not in it for the money. I wouldn't be in this job if I was in it for the money. Oh yeah. Here you go. Cheers, mate.
Oh, cool.
Hi guys. I thought you want to look at my ugly face now instead of the aquarium.
Oh mate, so many people are saying no, it's incredible.
George has enough dollar. I wish. There you go, guys. Good day from Australia. Good day, mate.
Good day.
What time is it in Australia, Daniel? I reckon it must be. Is it 12 hour ahead?
I think it is. So 8 o'clock in the morning.
8 o'clock in the morning.
He's just got up, getting his daily fix of George Farmer and Aiming Aquatics.
Yeah. I can donate a cup of tea. Oh, that's lovely. I like.
Let's go, we could do one.
I like green tea. 5 a.m. Daniel.
Oh, yeah. Bloody hell, Daniel, go to sleep.
Shout out from Barnet. Wow, awesome.
Oh my god.
Oh, Damo says, "Oh, you're not that ugly." Thanks, mate. Hello from Romania. Hello, Stefan. Thanks for joining. I'm just going to pop it back on the tripod. Is there any crisps left?
Yeah.
There is plenty of crisps.
You're a bit handsome. Oh, lovely. Thank you.
I've got half a multi-pack left in my van as well.
We've got any chocolate?
No,
No.
not that good.
Hey, from Denmark. Yay. Hello.
What flavour do you want?
Salt vinegar, cheers.
Mixed salt and vinegar or no?
Very salty, please. Salt and vinegar is rubbish.
Is it?
Yeah. No time for it. I was hoping to get like a little comment on that.
I'm not gonna lie, right? Look.
Yeah, I heard, yeah.
Ain't that comfy?
No.
But then like, I'd be sitting there going, it's like,
I'd have that for 10 grand.
yeah, definitely. Doesn't matter.
9 p.m. in Denmark.
Hey Matt,
Could the guys from Aiming Aquatics give us the tech specs on this beauty custom setup?
so if you want to give a little rundown maybe on the specs of the tank, filtration, lighting.
Okay.
I can talk about the lighting in the aquarium if you want.
You're on. Bring it. That's an extra you didn't hear me.
Yeah.
Sorry, we have all got crisps in our mouths, so we're just
Yeah, we're not having any dinner all day.
Yeah. Right, so filtration wise, so it's running two JBL E1501 external filters. Coming out of one of them, it goes into a high dot inline heater, which obviously keeps as much stuff out of the aquarium as possible. It then goes through a JBL 36-foot UV, it's obviously good for some sterilisation. In this case, it's a very bright room, lots of natural sunlight, so it helps with green water, or stopping green water as well.
Sorry, I touched the phone again.
You pull back and get my overall shot. After that, it then goes back up intake through one of the outlets. The second filter has a inline CO2 diffuser on the inlet to sort of stop the bubbles. Out from that, it goes straight back into the tank. It runs a JBL M500, which is a refillable canister CO2 kit, and that's going to run around 5 bubbles a second. Again, because the amount of light in here, like natural light, that's going to run 24 hours a day, and will be adjusted over time if needed. As you can see there, all the pipe work goes through 4 holes that we've custom drilled in the back of this aquarium, just to keep things tidy, keep things hidden, and then when the customer sort of looks at the overall tank, it's totally seamless. I'll let you do your...
Oh yeah, things like
yeah,
that.
I'll let you chat about your lights.
Yeah, lighting wise, from the top, we're running 2 Hessel A360 WE tuner suns. They're LED, and they're a dense matrix LED, which means they can mix the colours in one spot, which creates a really kind of natural colour rendition. And they're very point source, so it creates really natural kind of shadows and ripple effects. So if you just go on the, you see that rippling? It's really natural. You don't get that with T5 lighting because it's more uniform. They're plugged into a spectral controller. It's down here. And that is set for 8 hours at the moment. 50% colour, 50% intensity. What's the same?
Oh, what did he say?
And no, don't worry. And they're mounted on a lighting hanging kit from Evolution Aqua, stainless steel bracket, which is affixed to the rear of the tank. It just looks really cool, really classy, in keeping with the modern interior design of the building.
And sorry, Steve, didn't mean to do that.
And then the tank itself, the canvas, if you like, of the Aquascape, is a beautiful Evolution Aqua Aquascaper 1500 with 15mm glass, so there's absolutely no bowing in the glass. It's braceless, rimless, open top, absolutely minimum clear silicone work, ultra low iron, really high quality aquarium. This is about the 4th or 5th one of Aquascapes in the last 12 months.
I think we agree that it's taken quite a long time to fill it, but it's a new build and I'm not sure the mains water is that quick.
Any other questions, guys?
We can't set up an aquarium for a cup of tea, I'm afraid.
However, I'll do anything for a Kit Kat Chunky and a can of Diet Coke.
You heard it here.
Anyone's in hurling.
The media and the filters.
It's a standard supplied media. So, just some sponges and some biological ceramic media. Nothing special.
Relying on these bad boys to do the work.
Yeah.
Oh, and just in case anyone didn't catch it at the beginning, there are doors to come. We've just kept them off for the moment just to show off what's going on. What are these rocks, George?
Mini landscape rock.
Mini landscape rock.
From Aquarium Gardens, £3.50 kilogram. I think.
Back on the stand.
Yeah, someone's asked a question. Where's your phone at? There's another one. Where's your phone?
Are you going to be doing anything interesting with the light features at the kettles? In terms of, how they can change around throughout the day and things like that?
What, in the video now? What they're asking?
Oh, I think they're just saying, like, in general, the kettle features.
Oh, okay, yeah, talk about that. Yeah, we'll just get a drink of water. Oh, do you know this is overfilling?
Yes. Which one? No.
I don't know what the phone is. If anyone saw where I put my phone, that'd be useful.
I hear it, isn't it? Well, if you jump off mine. It's just YouTube now, right?
Have you tried pumping from the? You sure it's the? Is it the rate of the pump or the rate of the water?
Right. Pump.
Oh.
The water's overflowing, so.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Oh, no, sorry, I was just shamelessly lying to put the pressure up on
What?
I was just shamelessly lying to put the pressure up on this.
Yeah.
On mains water.
You don't mind it? How much back?
So the doors are a real nightmare to put on.
They should be okay.
They should be okay. I'm kind of thinking that's not really filled for probably like till 9.
You want to put them on now then?
No, just because they are a nightmare and we're live and I'm just getting that fucking up.
Oh, okay.
So Gus was not here tomorrow anyway.
Yeah.
So me and Nick can do it tomorrow, it's fine.
The cabinet is bespoke from Amen Aquatics, and the tank is supplied from Evolution Aqua, the Aquascaper 1500.
So how do you bring up comments on that? This is best.
The tank is being filled up, but it is slow.
Ah, cool.
You're not logged in, so you can't. Oh, you can see though.
Well, the kettle lighting on this tank at the moment, Steve, I think
you
it's
log
going to
into
be
that,
running,
or next?
ramping up from about 5 in the afternoon to about, it stays on
2 till 10
2 till 10.
PM.
Yo.
The aquascaping took the least amount of time, didn't it? Apart from the filling.
I think it's just
Got a pour on in a second, can't it? Slowly. Have little ups.
you pour.
Paul.
Pour.
So you want to get video at the end, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I know we don't want to disrupt anything. Or to be honest, we've got some more buckets, we can just siphon some bits off as well.
Why not just video it in 2 weeks?
yeah, we can pour straight into the colander now probably. That's pathetic, it's slow, isn't it?
Gross, isn't it?
Were you going to use much of the cloudy intensity features of the vessel?
No. I'm a big fan of just keeping things simple.
Yeah.
Um,
But it's nice to look at.
yeah, exactly. If you want to play around and show off to your mates and stuff, it's cool, but plants aren't fussy. If anything, they like it more consistent and stable.
Yeah. How much does this tank cost? Do you know that?
The tank on its own. Oh, that's a really good question.
The tank's £900, £899.
Is it just the tank
From
on its
memory.
own?
Yeah, from memory.
Yeah, so about £900 just for the tank. I know the Aquascaper 1200, you can get the tank and cabinet for £899, but that's smaller than this. It's only the 1200 is 12mm glass as well as this 15mm glass. Okay. We do an Aquascaper 1800 as well, so 6 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot, and that's 19mm glass. So
Literally
yeah,
taking all day to fill.
yeah.
What do you think about people who say intermittent lighting is good for algae because algae takes longer to sort of stop growing?
It's an interesting concept, and people like Danilate promote it. I think it's more to do with CO2 availability. So while during what they call the siesta, the break in the lighting period, the CO2 has a chance to build up, and then when the light comes on again, the plants can utilise that extra CO2, and that consequently can help fight off the algae. I think that's probably more the reason it helps with plant growth and avoiding algae growth. I'm not sure if it's anything more than that. I don't know the answer, but that's my sort of feel. That's my kind of educated guess, if you like. I don't run a siesta. It's quite a good idea if you want an extended photo period, and you're in the living room or wherever your tank is, in the morning, and you want to see your tank, and then you want to see it when you come home from work. Then yeah, a lot of people like run a 4-hour photo period in the morning, and have a break for 4 hours, and then run another 4-hour.
We took one.
Yeah, why not? Do you want me to do it?
Yeah, do you want help on that? Where are we going to? Over a rock?
Go here. Yeah, just at the front.
You take it sideways, it won't blow the back.
We didn't need to do any special flooring on this tank, but maybe depending on the house it's going into.
Double check on the house.
Some people might be an issue, but this is quite solid.
Move the columns to the back of it.
You can get nano CO2 kits for a 60-litre tank. Or you could even run a larger one and just turn the speed down.
Cool.
It's there if you want it. George to log in so you can come in.
Can we do that? Do you want to do it? Because I've got a 2% battery now.
2%. On that.
Free.
Okay. Do you want to plug that one in?
I've got a weird one.
Is it the iPhone?
The new one. It's the new
Micro USB.
micro USB thing.
Oh, is it? I didn't know they did one.
It's a really weird connector, isn't it?
It basically meant that I thought I had superpowers for about a week, thinking I always got it the right way around, but it's double-sided.
Yeah.
It's going to need the doors on before you take your pictures, isn't it? So you can get an overall one.
Well, yeah, that was my thought. Yeah.
Unless... How much milk do you reckon you get in the next 2 weeks?
Hard to say, really. It's a bit hit and miss with crypts.
It's whether you come down and do this,
Do a follow-up photo shoot when we do the
the other one,
office talk.
so I'll do
Yeah.
that next Thursday, and then like the week after or something.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. I'm too tired now to do much more,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Would you expect a nitrate rise in a new setup at all, even with all these plants?
Nitrate?
I don't know, mate.
No. Might be a little bit of an ammonia spike because of the soil. It's always worth checking before you add any livestock. But the plants will deal with any waste like that, no problem.
Is this going to be a video that you might edit at all, George?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, yeah.
That's going to be on your YouTube channel.
Yeah, so keep an eye out, guys. It will compress this into like an easy to watch sort of 10-minute video. I realise it's a long one. If you watch from the start, which I'm very much many of you have done, because it is so long, I did explain that it was going to be a bit of a long process. I do apologise for the length of time it's taken to fill the tank. It's kind of one of those things that's beyond our control, unfortunately.
You know what, George? You've got the same name standing up though, so we've obviously got some guys, you know, really getting along with this.
Good. Oh, it's really good to see you guys. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. What are you thinking? I've got a leak of it. You have? Need that gold seal. I'll have a look.
Yeah, it's dripping.
Any more crisps left?
I think that probably is.
Oh, cheers, mate.
Nick, do you want to start filling this other bucket up?
Yeah, of course.
That would lie if we got a leak. So, I'm just going to on it. Yeah, we cut the pipe, put the back on it. That'll work. George.
Yeah.
Cut the pipe and put the back on it, so I can walk around. And then I'll deal with it.
Oh, is it sealed off then?
At the minute it is.
Okay, cool.
So
Yeah,
I-
yeah, go for it, mate. Yeah. Cool. Do you want me to not talk about that? No dramas, mate.
Tidy enough. No.
My phone has now dried out of batteries, so I think my commenting roles may be over.
You can jump onto mine one, mate.
Yeah, so yours the one charging up, yeah?
You fit in an auto dosage tomorrow.
I've got a 5 litre Ferropol there.
Yeah, we probably need some MPK in there as well, probably.
Yeah.
There isn't any in Farapol.
Is there not?
No. Doesn't have nitrates and phosphates in, does it?
That's when I've got MPK. My dad runs on his tanks and bases, so
Oh, okay, cool.
I just brought one of his and throw it in.
Cool.
Cool. Right, in a second, I'm going to get you to push it to me.
Yep.
Okay.
So people are saying this has been going for 2 days, this video. No, not 2 days, guys. An hour and 40 minutes.
It's just because you're enjoying it so much.
Yeah. If actually for the record, it normally takes me a good 2 or 3 hours to do an aquascape. So to do a 500 litre aquascape, I think this has been pretty quick. I know it's filling up slowly with water, but it does help prevent clouding. I just apologise, it's a little bit boring to watch. I do empathise with you.
Bored out of mind.
It's impressive though.
Thanks, mate.
Viewers hanging around.
Yeah, got quite 108 at the
Right, Nick,
moment.
if you could push against that for me, please, mate. Hard as you can.
Yep.
Harder,
Yep.
harder. Yep. I do.
Okay, guys, I'm just going to look at the comments. Oh,
Yep.
Keep pushing as hard as you can. Just, we're both applying pressure
Let's
basically.
look at Matt's
A little bit
pants.
less.
Nice pants, mate.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, I do. Let's go, let's go. Right.
Paul's asking to show the cabinet doors. They're not actually.
Do you want me to grab one?
Yeah, they're a bit dusty at the moment, aren't they? They've been in a workshop gathering a little bit of
And they've got
dust, but
protective film still on them, but
there we go. Bit of dust on them, but they'll.
And it's got that shiny plastic protector on there at the moment, which will rip off, leaving just a gloss black. Oh, but not black.
yeah. Something like that.
Yeah, very nice. Someone's. I can't remember. Can't say his name.
AA Chariot.
Yeah, he's funny.
That's one of the hardcore they've been doing the whole time.
Yeah, well, yeah. Thanks for watching, AA Tario. You're really funny, mate. Vacuum cleaner. Yeah, it's a wet vacuum cleaner. So just a bit of water spillage. We're just cleaning up. Steve Webb, what was the reasons for having the inlets drilled in the back? Won't this reduce surface vegetation? Yeah, basically, Matt from Aiming Aquatics didn't want to see any pipe work at all. So
Too much OCD.
yeah, that's why we haven't got any visible pipes or anything on there.
Rules angle it up.
Yeah, we can put elbows on the outlets to increase surface agitation. So that's probably something we'll do. Drip and Vape says, I'm setting up a tank, George, this week. 100 by 40 by 40. That sounds really cool. Good luck with it, mate. Vonx Aqua. Impressive doors, laminate. I'm not sure. Were the doors laminate or
What's that?
what are the doors made of?
Oh, the doors are. What are the doors, Matt?
Is that
it's
it's gone out?
Well, I think the doors are going to be oak as well.
Oh, yeah, solid oak, I think. Yeah, I think the doors are solid oak. Yeah, the picture of the lion is really cool, isn't it? It's a photograph. Yeah, me too, Steve. I don't like a lot of stuff on display. I use glass lily pipes for the same sort of reason, but this is actually really cool. Don't even have any lily pipes on show. Beautiful plants, what's their names? Just joined. Hi Eric, thanks for joining. The plants are trident fern or Mycosorum trident, which is a type of Java fern, and there's about 8 different varieties of Cryptocorini in there. Drip and Vape, Westland Aquatic Compost, any good? I don't know, I've never used it. I prefer normally to use commercial aquarium products. Is the background sprayed? No, it's a vinyl wrap. It's a vinyl, black vinyl. Aquarium Explorer says, what is the stone used? It's mini landscape rock. There's about 50 or 60 kilos in there. I think someone else is talking about their own channel. That's cool.
Bonds or something. They've been.
Yeah. I'm UK, yeah, but I think the guys were talking about another. Yes, Carmelo says, so the plant selections are slow growing. That's right, yeah. Paul says, would you be able to drill the tank at home, or was it a pro job?
Oh no, we did that ourselves.
But it means it was a pro job though. You guys are pros, aren't you?
Well, of course.
Yeah.
So it was a diamond bit, a diamond drill bit, and about 40 minutes a hole.
Yeah. Did you use like a well, and
Yes.
then constantly keep?
So you make a
Yeah.
well with putty
Yeah.
to constantly keep it wet, and then very, very, very slowly you drill it through.
Yeah. Yeah, doing a good job. Do us a favour. I've got to do something interesting. Oh, you need the light on at the back, don't you? You need a big light on.
I'm good.
Turn the lights off, and the light on the tank will really pop then.
Because it is now the middle of the night.
Yeah. I'm going to get a right beasting off the missus when I get home. Do you need to polish the edges of the hole after drilling?
Well, you want to make sure it's not actually burring and sharp.
Yeah.
But, you know, depends. We
Krishna says, what are you doing? Oh, there we
dun,
go.
dun, dun.
What canister filter? Look at the green lights. Look at that. That looks really cool. Lit up in there. What filters are these? You can put
Crystal
them.
Profis.
You want to put them lights back on now?
Oh, I missed the green light. I missed the green light.
They look good.
Yeah, the filters are JBL Crystal Profi. Steve Webb, you're used to a beasting, George. You're ex-RAF.
That's Matt.
That's Matt. He's ex-RAF regiment, even worse. Yeah, it's funny. Both me and Matt kind of met coincidentally, but we're both ex-Royal Air Force. So that's interesting. Remek97, hello, hello, Remek. Thanks for joining. Smiley face. 2/3 full now, guys. Only another hour to go. Hi Brian, thanks for joining. Okay, a few questions here. Paul, anyway, the dancing girls. Sorry, mate, no dancing girls tonight. Not part of the budget, I'm afraid. Mark Dunn Davies, hi George, looking good. Thanks, Mark. Eric, any fish moving in later? Yeah, probably in about 2 or 3 weeks. We'll probably put fish in there. HR 999, quick question, George. How to deal with substrate migration and established tank? Just regular maintenance. Trying to block it off with stones like I've done, and then I normally just siphon off any migrated substrate and then top it off with new stuff if I need to. Greetings from Poland. Yeah, hello my Polish friends. I've been to Poland. I've been to Tychy, Tychy, Tychy. My friend Adam Pascala. Mike, hello George. Are these JBL 1501 or 1901? They're 1501. Is it better to use one bigger filter than two smaller? I prefer to use two smaller because you can have more control over the circulation. Greetings from Serbia, hello. Steve Webb, I remember back in the day when you first started in aquatics, you acted as a intermediary on a forum as I was old school and arguing against MPK. That's interesting, yeah. Great believer in MPK now, always have been actually. I was kind of one of the first real people to kind of bring it to the UK, I think.
Yeah, that'll help.
Wish I was here from the start, looks really good. Oh, thanks Milosh. What I'm going to do is do a full edited video. So yeah, you can watch the full thing. Mike Westwood, hi mate, how you doing? Felix Becker, greetings from Germany. Guten Abend, Felix. Surface skimmer. No, we're trying to keep as much equipment out of the tank as possible. We'll probably have a surface agitation from the outlet, so we hopefully won't need a skimmer. Guten Abend. Das ist gut, mein Freund. Guten Abend, Herr Farmer. Guten Abend, Herr Troll. Why are 2 canisters? Yeah, we're running 2 canisters for extra circulation and filtration. Greetings from Norway. Hello, Norway. I'm not sure what hello is in Norwegian, I'm afraid. Yeah, Felix, I used to live in Germany. My dad was in the army. I lived there for 6 years as a child, so I kind of remember a little bit of German. I'm actually going to Germany next month to visit Dennerle, the German aquatic plant company. Mike, is the client a footballer? No, not quite. Yeah, it's a good tank.
It's the queen.
I wish. That's my goal.
Careful of the outlet, mate. It's not disturbing the soil.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to be... What flow rates do you recommend for filtration? I'm about to set up a 220 litre. I'll go for 2 big filters on that then, 220 litre. Probably two JBL 901s or 1501s maybe. Aquarium Explorer George, how was your back after such hard work? The guys are doing all the hard work, to be fair, I'm alright. Yeah, hopefully we're going to ship these tanks to Europe. We just need people to make the orders, that's all. Jan fan page, what is your favourite fish? I really like neon tetras. There you go, I just said it. Neon tetras are my favourites, yeah. Why is he spraying water over the filled tank? We're spraying the water just to keep the plants wet. There's some still exposed to the air.
George is the fastest way to get water in. It's so slow. It's just
Yeah, the spray is actually quicker than pumping the water in at the moment. Yeah. It's not a painting actually, guys. It's actually a photo. It's nice, isn't it?
It's a really big lion.
It's the king of the jungle, you see. And just for a bit of trivia, I was born in August, which makes me a Leo, a lion. Why not a sump? Because we prefer canister filters in this setup. Vonks Aqua, it looks great, thanks Vonks. Wet Pet says, yes, it is nice, thank you, Wet Pets. Paul says, White Cloud Minnows. Yeah, I love White Cloud Mountain Minnows too. Why are 2 canisters down there? Just for increased circulation. This client isn't the American dentist who shot the lion, is it? No, it's not.
wouldn't deal with him.
No, we wouldn't deal with him. We're big into animal welfare.
It's not the American doctor that shot the lion.
Does keeping cichlids and aquascaping go together? Says Max Troll. Yeah, no, you can create pleasant. I guess you mean African cichlids. But yeah, there's no reason why you can't do that. Oh, I just got some more questions here. I experience hot spots with the Kessels. No, the spread's actually quite good on them. Not too bad. Shazneb, what do you think about keeping fish like red-tailed catfish? Yeah, not massive fish. You need a huge tank. Not for the general hobbyist, I would say. Which fishes will be added to the tank? We're not sure yet. I'd recommend a big shoal of small fish. Have we got a floater in there? Floating crypt.
Well, that's
Oh, we're on the left.
A piranha's plant safe. Depends on which species, but most of them are. Steve Webb. Do you ever use substrate heater cables these days? Sorry, Steve, what are they? Never heard of them. LOL. Are piranhas plant safe? Yeah, just answered that. Which stones used in the tank? Mini landscape rock. What about plants then? Max, for African cichlids, yeah, you can use anubias tied to stone or wood. But you don't have to use plants for aquascaping. So if you look through some of my videos on my YouTube channel, which you already are there, if you type in George Farmer African cichlid aquascape or something like that, you should find an aquascape I did. What filters are they? JBL Crystal Profi 1501. Shane says copper harlequins in this tank. Excellent choice. You've got good taste.
Good shout.
Shane, well done, mate. What is the black container down near the client? That's a Hoover. Matt Johnson, have brand diatoms for 4 months. Any advice? Loads of water changes. Maybe get some Ottosinclaus. Mike says, what is the main plant there?
That's the ferns.
It's the Java fern, trident fern, and is that one plant or many attached to the wood? It's three main plants. Oh, Max Troll says, but I want plants. Yeah, like I said, anubias, maybe Java fern, crinums, they're from Africa. They might all be fine. Do you like puffers, says Alec. I have 8-inch mubu, but with a large shoal of neons and rainbow fish. Nice. Keelies are nice, yeah. Wow, big, yeah. Keelies are nice. Please pardon what the black container is. I think the thing on the right is a Hoover, like a vacuum cleaner to clean water and other rubbish. Hello from Romania. What's my favourite freshwater puffer? I like dwarf puffers. I've never kept anything bigger. Thanks, George. Now I got it. You're welcome, mate. No, I didn't know. I never met. Hi from Chile. Hello. Welcome. Did I ever meet Takashi Amano? No, it's one of my life regrets. I never met him. Why don't I keep crabs? Just don't really fancy it. Paul Jones puffer jacket, very funny. Okay, the filters are priming now. Could actually finish filling up tomorrow if you wanted.
Yeah, true.
I need to get home really, my missus is going mental.
Yeah. It's not a bad shout.
Aquarium Explorer, is Eamon Aquatics yours? No, belongs to Matt Eamon. Are you running CO2 on this system? Yes, we'll be running about 4 or 5 bubbles a second, 24/7.
Get, another water, basically, as long as we get that top fern covered. Yeah.
You could probably even just poke the leaves under the water, maybe.
Yeah. And then we just tomorrow. Actually, yeah, I reckon that last one will probably do it.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I'm going to sign off soon because just a couple more. How many streams a year do you make? I think this is only my 3rd. I've only just started using the YouTube live stream, so if people are enjoying it, which they seem to be, then I'll do a lot more. I used to successfully keep a shoal of dwarf puffers in my 5-foot community. They're great. Oh, thanks, Steve. Yeah, I love dwarf puffers. Which lighting are you using? Kessel 360 AWE Tuna Suns. What type of aquariums do you prefer other than the Aquascaper? Any braceless, rimless tanks with good quality silicone and low iron glass. Okay, guys, I'm just going to turn the camera around and then say cheerio because it's getting really late here. I've still got a 2-hour train journey home. So I'm going to say cheerio. Just give a quick final look at the tank. Aquarium Gardens is a shop in the UK. It's local to me. If you type in Aquarium Gardens on Google, you should be able to find it. Thanks for the stream. Oh, thank you. That's lovely. Just give you a close up. Get in there now. Cheerio. Thanks for sharing. Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for joining, everyone. Really appreciate it. Good to see lots of interaction. Okay, I'll do a full edit version of this, guys. I'm going to come back in a couple of weeks and do a follow-up. Really great job, Eamon Aquatics and George. Thanks a lot. Looks amazing. Oh, thanks.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. Okay, let me just turn it round and we can say cheerio. Ooh. God, it's bright, that light, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, thanks very much. Really appreciate you watching. I'm going to go now. It's nearly past my bedtime already, and I've got to get home yet. So thanks to Matt and I keep forgetting your name, Nick, for helping out today. I think we made a really good team. It's the first time we worked together, actually, and hopefully it will be the start of a beautiful relationship. So shout out to Eamon Aquatics, shout out to Evolution Aqua, shout out to JBL for helping out with all the products. Any other shout outs?
Maidenhead Aquatics at Bourne End with the Polly Camille crew.
Yeah, shout out to those guys. Bourne End, Maidenhead Aquatics, one of the best Maidenhead Aquatics in the world.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, especially for little tetras and barbs and rasboras.
All those good things for aquascaping tanks.
Yeah.
Bit of aquarium garden love. Good
Yeah,
packaging.
don't forget to give Eamon Aquatics a like on Facebook. Look me up on Facebook, the Aquascaper and George Farmer. Subscribe to me on YouTube and you'll get updated with loads more aquascaping videos. Okay guys, good night, cheerio, keep on scaping.